Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are hopping into a game called Tachyon Dreams Anthology. It's by a company called Cosmic Void that I've played several point-and-click adventures by. This one is actually a text parser, I think. I started it up just to make sure that I could get it working, but haven't played much of it other than that. On their Steam catalog, I've been playing them in the order that they've released, but I suspect that this may have been released outside of Steam earlier. I'm not sure though. Let's hop into it. The construction of Space Station Penrose has brought about a new era of humanity. The ability to manipulate time dilation has allowed for travel faster than the speed of light, resulting in the colonization of star systems one by one. You, Dodger, are a valued member of the crew, and as the sole dishwasher on board, your work is indispensable. Wow. I'm sure. We have time travel, but no automatic dishwashers. Your nap gets rudely interrupted by an explosive wake-up call. Did you leave the pressure cooker lid in the dishwasher again? It must be Tuesday. Boy, you've really done it now, judging by the metallic vibrations. It takes a special talent to muck up this bad. You head to the dishwasher room and find it surprisingly intact. Stranger still, there's no one else on the ship. Where did everyone go? Leaving the dishwasher room, you see the other doors are shut tight, except one down the hall. You step through it, hoping for answers. If this is your first time playing a game like this, type help and press enter for a brief tutorial. Alright, let's do that. Also looks like the music was only on the starting screen. Escape pops up menus, returns to the game, navigate it with the arrow keys, press enter to advance. F3 retypes the last line typed. Tab to look at an item in inventory. Full screen, walk around using the arrow keys, press then release the key to start the movement. Pressing the same arrow or bumping against a wall stops Dodger. Okay, it's like King's Quest. To interact with the world, type commands such as look around, look at console, talk to man, get rock, eat mushroom, use X on tree, throw dynamite at boulder. It's recommended that you try a look command when entering the room for the first time. Okay. Save real quick. Okay, I guess that's the inventory, which is blinding me with all white. I think I've got the sound about where I want it, so we won't fiddle with that. Okay. You're in the main control room of the Penrose Interstellar Space Station. HISS, for short. So that's the type of game it is. Your clearance level used to be as low as Limbo, but who's the bouncer to kick you out now? The central control console dominates the heart of the room. The screen is currently turned off. Look screen. Look console. Only the main console is of interest to you. It boasts a large number of buttons, but it's the red one that really grabs your attention. There are many buttons, more than you can count, but it's the big red one in the main console that you find exceptionally interesting. Double check that there wasn't anything else. What if I do look chair? It sure is big, must be nice to sit while you work, unlike you who are forced to stand. Oh, so you can look at things which it doesn't tell you about when you actually do the like general look command. Look around seems to be the same thing as look. What if I do like look computer? No. Okay, press red button. You're not close enough to the red button in the main console, which is the only one you find of interest. You press the big red button and a sharp electrical zap momentarily fries your auditory nerves. Something is very wrong with the station's electronics. The main screen turns on. The station's AI, Audrey, appears. I could detect one life form still in the station just before my subroutines went offline, she says. I hoped it would be someone competent. You'll have to do. Just where is everyone, you say? It's not a question of where, but when. An experiment delving into the nature of superfuture has gone awry. The superfuture, you ask? Audrey gives an exasperated eye roll, and you find it endearing. The superfuture is an imagined curvature which bends causality, attracting it to dip in certain direction. Right, of course. I knew that, you say. Audrey carries on. A temporal anomaly has manifested itself in two separate timestamps. Wait, what? A temporal anomaly which has manifested itself in two separate timestamps may be the culprit. You must investigate it before it engulfs our entire world. What should I do? You ask. I am teleporting into your pockets 2 items, she says. One is a remote which you can use to move in time and investigate the 2 timestamps in question. Doesn't mean I'll get to travel in time. Indeed it does. Operating the remote is easy. You just need to use the remote. The other item is a computer. You can use it to communicate with me in case you find something that strikes you as anomalous. Got it, you say. In the presence of an anomaly, I'll use the computer for input from you. That's right, Audrey says. The first timestamp will take you 300 million years into the past. The second timestamp will take you 85 years into the future. Whenever you're ready, use your remote. I've taken the liberty to set your first destination to the past. Godspeed. Whee! 1 score out of 158. Okay, I mean, I guess I could do that, but I could also just leave. The dishwashing room. You spend more time in this room than any other room on the station. Or otherwise. Oops, 1 second. It's home. You know it more intimately than you do your own bed. Other than the main control room, this is the only room accessible to you after the emergency doors have sealed. Thankfully, the fan is still functional. The fan is spinning very fast. Its sharp blades are particularly sharp. You know, after that last finger accident, you still miss that pinky. Yikes. Look, dishwasher. Wait, dishwasher? Can you ride it like a skateboard? What? I guess I'm the dishwasher. Well, about like, look, sink. The sink is empty. You've already washed this morning's dishes. Okay, so I got computer and remote. A remote. You use it to time travel instead of changing channels on the TV. Fancy. A handheld computer. You can use it to communicate with Audrey. You press a button to confirm your temporal destination, and within seconds you feel every atom of your being ripped away. You smile to yourself as you realize the sensation is rather pleasant, akin to tickling. A moment later, you reassemble. That's pretty. You find yourself within a dense forest, enveloped by bushes laden with berries. The clearing opens to the east. See, I imagine each screen is like separate. It probably doesn't probably doesn't screen wrap at all. Look, pond. Look, water. You stand at the bank of a deep lake, green and gray where your reflection flutters beneath you, and dark blue in the shadows of the far bank. The water smells of fish and geranium. You even detect a hint of muskmelon. Though you can't seem to see any of these in the water, you wonder about the reason for the strange odors. There's an old tree stump and a root in the lake. You don't fancy exploring them. Hey, Draga. Welcome, welcome. I'm curious if you can die in this game. Jump in lake. Pump the brakes. You might not want to do that. You never did learn how to swim, remember? You'll drown like a rock. A memory of your dad giving you a swimming lesson surfaces. You feared the water so much you cried and thrashed out. Your dad pulled you out. Okay, I see a vine. Look, vine. No. Okay, look. Bush. Seedy berries grow in the bushes around you. You've never seen such pink and salmon-colored fruit. You wonder why it doesn't grow anymore. In the future, that is. Most of the berries are shriveled in a strange color. Finally, you find one that's ripe and plump. It's the size of a mango. You pluck the berry and shove it in your pocket. The strange sensation of deja vu washes over you. You're pretty certain you've done this before. A berry you picked up 300 million years ago. It's got a very tough skin. Oh, I can just shortcut to saves with F5. Eat berry. After sinking your teeth into the berry, you grimace in pain. Ouch! Its skin is as tough as rock. Luckily, you haven't chipped your teeth. Let's go check out this tree over here. An imposing tree shades this part of the woods. The sound of insects ticks from its crevices. Look in the hole. Surely you didn't travel 300 million years into the past to explore tree holes. That's exactly what I did. Surely you jest. You're on a space adventure. You have no interest in random forest insects. What do you know, game? Okay. You're in a densely wooded area. Bushes thick with berries surround you. You notice a large statue and a couple of rocks, the larger of which has a red painting on a side. There are two rocks in the clearing. There's a painting in red on the larger one, which strikes you as odd. Hasn't Audrey said you were going 300 million years into the past? Just who could have drawn it? Either Audrey got the year wrong, or there's something else at play. Look, statue. A large statue of a woman meditating sits in the middle of the clearing. Now, who could have made it 300 million years into the past? There's more than meets the eye about this jungle, or this year, whichever year it really is. You press a few buttons on your handheld computer and Audrey's face appears. You inform her of the statue and the red scribbling on the rock. She stares at you as if you're off your rocker. You had no idea the station's AI was capable of such an elaborate facial expression. Using your computer, you take a photo of the red markings and a photo of the statue and send them. A moment later, you hear back from her. This is out of this world. I mean, literally, the red markings are Markdonian. This is living proof this highly enigmatic alien species visited our world hundreds of millions of years ago. This is big, she continues. What was their business on Terra? And how come we've never seen any evidence before? Any idea what their script says? You ask. It has something to do with the statue, Audrey replies. It means something like, To awaken me. Offer 2 godly gifts. Beats me what that means. Give statue berry. What if I wear it like this? You try and put all sorts of items in the statue's hands, but none have any effect. Painting? There's a painting in red color on the larger rock. Reminds you of a man spreading his hands. Or birds. You can't say for certain. Just who made it. It kind of looks like there's ways to go left and right here. Oh. Okay, that's interesting to know. Does take you back to the same place? That doesn't look like 300 million years ago. An immense gilled mushroom grows in the middle of the clearing, dwarfed only by a massive boulder next to it. A metal door is installed on the side of the boulder, from which wires extend to what you surmise is a sort of power generator. You also spot on the ground what appears to be a lead case. You pick up the lead case and carry it with you. You never know when you'll need to store hazardous material inside. Oops. Sorry if I'm like blinding everyone whenever I open my inventory because it's got a white background. Small lead case to keep stuff in. Okay. A mighty boulder lies in the middle of the clearing. A metal door is installed on its side. The more you see, the less you find it credible you've gone back in time 300 million years. Wires connect what is at best guess a power generator to the inside of the boulder. Actually wanted to look at this funny looking rock, but fine. Well, you've never laid eyes on a mushroom this massive. Its corrugated deep pomegranate bluish skin would repulse you if you weren't hypnotized by its sheer dimensions. You wonder if it tastes good in a soup. The skin of the mushroom is too thick. You're unable to rip a piece for yourself. Okay. This thing, whatever it is, whirs ever so quietly. You examine it closely, but find no buttons or levers. The middle door is closed. There's a red button on it. Oh boy, more red buttons. You establish connection with Audrey and tell her about the door and the strange cylinder next to it. Much like you, she's perplexed at finding this sort of technology in your world's distant past. It's clear whatever caused everyone on the space station vanish. It is clear whatever caused everyone on the space station to vanish was not a natural phenomenon, she says. Watch your step, Dodger. It's becoming clear something sinister is at play. The wires are plain looking. They connect on an apparatus of sorts to the inside of the boulder. Huh. There's no handle when pushing doesn't work. You try pulling it to open, but that too fails to get you closer to the inside of the boulder. You hear a loud metallic sound. Then you notice the pulsing pain in your foot billowing like a mushroom cloud up your nerves. That was a bad idea. That really doesn't do anything. Take wire. You tug and pull at the cables, but they remain securely in place. Take generator. It's too heavy to carry around. Okay, that's interesting. I'm like immediately stuck already. Wait a minute. What did they say I guess I could try using the remote to go somewhere else. Um, hmm. And there really wasn't no way to go here. Okay, so that takes me back to here. Okay, so we can go to the future. This doesn't look good. Wow, this future is bleak. So is this what a nuclear winter looks like, eh? Nuclear winters suck. Before you stands a man huddled by a burning drum, seemingly indifferent to the lifeless body a few feet away, decaying into the snow. You also observe a chimney, nearly obscured by the snow, and a snowman. Hold on, let me check that again. Chimney. Oh, that chimney down on the bottom right. Okay. Look, skyline. The future urban sky is a repulsive carbonated pink. A slight improvement over LA's haze, you conclude? The snow is heaped high enough to cover a house, if the jutting chimney is any indication. For a moment you worry about snow blindness, but a quick glance at the sky shows it's thick with a pinkish haze, so perhaps there isn't a risk of high ultraviolet rays. The corpse is at an early stage of decomposition. The future sure looks uplifting. Rifling through the dead man's pockets, you find a jar cover. It's chipped and seemingly without much use, but you take it anyway. Looking up, you see the man by the fire staring down at you disapprovingly. You smile at him foolishly, then quickly step away from the body. A jar cover, you've always wanted one of these. For some reason, there are none on the station. It wouldn't have been nuclear winter without a snowman. How quaint. The carrot's a nice touch. You pluck the carrot, and carry it with you. The snowman doesn't look too happy about losing its nose. What are snowman's eyes traditionally made of? Just like pebbles? Okay. Look, drum. The blaze burns in the drum. By the looks of it, it may die within the hour. Oops, wrong thing. Snowman's carrot. Ew, it looks like there's something on it. Perhaps you should take a closer look. You're on the verge of biting into the carrot when you notice a delightful worm happily nibbling away. Finding it endearing, you opt to spare the worm. You discard the partially eaten carrot, finding that your appetite has suddenly disappeared. Your worm looks rather jolly. Watch out though, its teeth look razor sharp. Thank you for the stretch, Jane. And I actually need to step away for like 2 minutes, but I will be right back. Okay, thank you, Jane. Alrighty, look, drum, I think I already did that. A blaze burns in the drum. By the looks of it, it may die within the hour. Yeah, I did that already. Look fire. Same thing. Look man. The man stares lifelessly at no point in particular, warming himself over a drum blaze, unalarmed at your unanticipated arrival through thin air. His clothes are torn and soiled, and an imperceptibly sweet but foul scent wafts from his direction. You greet the man and introduce yourself as Dodger from the past. I've come in peace, you grin. You've always wanted to say that. My mission is to fix some temporal hiccup. You're too late, the man says without looking at you. Was he expecting you? How could he be? You yourself learned you'd be traveling to the future, what, only 1 hour and 85 years ago? Trying to keep track of the timelines confuses you. Too late, you say? The man shakes his head. There's nothing much to try and save, he says. Besides, I failed to find oil today. My fire will die by nightfall. And I won't make it till dawn. We're all going to freeze to death tonight. Oh, welcome to the future. Well, Dodger, what a bummer. First night in the future isn't going to be a night to remember, unless you can do something about the man's dying drum blaze. Look, chimney. It's just as it appears. There's something a bit disconcerting in realization. You're standing above a house buried under snowfall, triggered by nuclear annihilation. It doesn't, like, go. Enter chimney? Look in chimney? Peering down into the chimney, you see a leg jutting from the snow. You dig a little, and find the leg is attached to a body. A little more digging reveals a hand holding onto an empty jar of jam, judging by the label. You retrieve it. It may serve you better than it does him. Jar? It's a jar, currently empty. Put worm in jar. Put lid on jar. What? Oh, put cover on jar. Okay, are there any? Okay, there are different places you can go. You stand in front of a large building. The bottom floor seems to serve businesses, while the upper floor is for residential. A man stands seemingly aimless next to a hole in the wall. The street stretches on to the east. Let me look here real quick. Make sure I can't go in any other directions here. Doesn't look like it. It seems like the snow is the path, and he's like, oh, never mind. I was gonna say, seems like the snow is the path, and the gray areas are not, but good sign. The number of this building is 46. Knowing this is of no benefit to you. Probably. Look around again. Look rubble. Look man. But look hole. Gaping hole decorates the side of the building. A man leans against the wall, crossing his arms. He shows little interest in your presence. Hello there, I'm Dodger. I'm from the past, you say enthusiastically. Oh, are you now? I'm Jimbo from the future. You're from the future? You ask excitedly. The man stares, as dead as the cesium-infused ashes on the windowsills. Unless you brought with you something to eat from the past of yours, let me starve in peace, the man finally says. Okay, it doesn't seem like I have any food. What about... You place the worm on the berry, but nothing happens. The worm is clearly not interested in that. You need to, like, crack the berry somehow? Very tough skin. What if I, like, put it in the fire? Put berry in fire. Okay, made it into the building. Look. This place used to be a large-scale aquarium by the looks of it. Used to go to these as a kid. All the tanks are empty except for one, hosting a rather ominously luminous fish. Ominously luminous? Try to say that 50 times fast. Look. Tank. All the tanks are empty except for the one at the back. Look, fish. You're no marine biologist, but the fish looks quite dead. Its luminosity suggests the consumption of radioactive and potentially hazardous materials. You really want to grab a glowing dead fish? A clever indicator of radioactivity with your bare hands? I think twice about it. Put fish in case? Hold on, I must need to go up here. Really? Use worm on fish to, like, bite off a scale or something? Put fish in jar? I'm not 100% sure about the verbs that it recognizes. Put fish in lead case. There you go. You retrieve the clearly radioactive fish using lead case. Now, what are you going to do with it? Also, I haven't been doing this. Use computer. What is it? She says. I found a glowing fish. It must be radioactive. So she says, don't pick it up, unless you can do so safely. Any way to clean it of the radioactive toxicity? Not aboard the station, no. Washing materials exposed to cesium with water containing microalgae can do the trick. If you can find any, that is. It said something about cesium earlier. Look for. Yeah, I haven't been talking to Audrey. The future stinks, you tell Audrey. Everything is in ruins. That's the apocalypse for you, Dodger. But don't dwell on it. You're not there to write an account of the apocalypse. Hmm. Hmm. So she said something about microalgae and cleaning materials and cesium. Do you think you can point me to a possible temporal meltdown your timeline may be experiencing? You say, but the man ignores you. He's more concerned with the fact his body is deconstructing itself. Hmm. You shovel snow onto your hand. Enjoy the sensation of your fingers going numb. Put snow in jar. Hmm. Alright, I think it said I can go east here. Wait. Okay, I see a cat. This part of the street stinks. A cat sits in a little patch of the world. This city is his, according to its posture. A beat-up tire and a basketball reminisce about life pre-apocalypse. There's also a poster on the wall, a newspaper box, and a random dumpster doing its dumpster thing. Look great. Uh, read. Look black. I wonder what that could potentially be there. Look at the cat. The cat pays you no mind. Standard protocol, really. You're accustomed to that treatment, from other people at least. Hmm. Look, poster. A worn-out poster clings to the wall, featuring a symbol that once adorned the CDs of your beloved metal bands during your teen years. Its meaning, though, remains an enduring mystery. Why don't I want to get the poster? Look, tire. Forget about it, you never learned how to change a tire. Tires have died. Besides, you don't know how to change one. What do we think this red thing is? Oh, basketball. You see a basketball on the ground, and it takes you back to high school hoops. Other than washing dishes, it's the one thing you were good at. Back in high school, you were a star player, dreaming big of making it to the National League, raking in hefty paychecks, enjoying the company of girls, and soaking up all the fame. But then, that freak skateboarding accident messed up your knee, and it never really bounced back. Anyway, you never laid a finger on a basketball since. That was weird. It was gave me a point, but I didn't actually get it. Hmm. What do they call this thing? Newspaper box. A news dispenser. Can't have a big study without one, right? Yesterday's paper litters the pavement. And by yesterday, you mean about 80 years back. The swift look reveals the Bears lost the game. Not much of a shocker. You catch the winning lottery numbers too. Shame you're a few decades behind the jackpot. Oh, is this a newspaper? Okay, look, dumpster. Ah, dumpster. This site takes you back. You'd been the dumpster guy for a couple months before making a career change and moving on to dishwashing. Open dumpster. You can't shake those old habits, huh? You always were the trash explorer extraordinaire. And in the middle of rotting carton boxes and mystery odors, you stumble upon a classic roly-poly toy. Takes you right back to the good old days when that thing was your absolute fave. These toys feature a weighted vase filled with beans or rice, ensuring they always bounce back. Don't immediately understand what this is? Oh, okay, now I understand. Okay. Sure, there's nothing else hiding in there. Anything I want to tell the computer? Nope. Okay, that appears to be a dead end. I wonder if I use the remote in a different area, if it'll like teleport me somewhere different. No, it always seems to take me back to the same place. Get water. You laid out some water from the lake using your jar, then seal the top with the cover. You have filled your jar with lake water. They said something about cesium, I think, unless I'm misspelling because I didn't like the word cesium when I typed it in. I'm hoping not misremembering that. Jar in hand. No. I think I want to I can't think of anything obvious to do with the worm or the toy. I'm trying to cure the fish of radiation poisoning. Use worm on mushroom. You place the worm on the mushroom and watch it munching contentedly on the fleshy substance. After a while, a chunk of the mushroom peels off completely, and you pick it up. To your surprise, it's extremely spongy and, ew, what's that smell? You've also lost sight of the worm. Oh well, it's off to greener pastures, better than your pocket. An exceptionally spongy piece of mushroom. And the smell. Ugh. Now what does that remind you of? I don't know what that reminds me of. Sulfur, maybe? Um, use berry with water. Use berry with mushroom. Um, I was wondering if it was like oil or something. You place the spongy mushroom in the fire, but nothing happens. Whatever is inside the mushroom is truly well absorbed within, or does not interact with the fire. You squeeze the spongy mushroom over the fire, and an oily substance begins to dribble. Before your very eyes, the dying fire explodes in a mighty flame. Thank you so much, the man says. You just helped me survive another night. You can have my crowbar. A good scavenger like yourself May use it to find more gasoline. You thank him and pick up the crowbar. Did I have anything for the crowbar? Maybe the door back there? Washing materials exposed to cesium with water containing microalgae can do the trick. Hold on, what'd she say again? Washing materials. Are there washing materials in here? Put water in sink. You pour the water with the microalgae into the sink. Now what? Put fish in sink? You place the fish in the sink, where you have previously poured the water with microalgae. After a while, you remove the fish, which had lost its luminosity. The microalgae sure devoured all that foul radiation, and now looks like a regular dead fish. Smells like one too. You'd probably eat it if you were hungry. Okay. You offer the hungry man the cleansed fish. Thank you, but I'm still a bit hungry. Oh shoot. Maybe I have to get him to something to do with this berry as well. Use crowbar on berry. The only thing I can think of at the moment is trying to open the door with this crowbar. Use crowbar on door. There we go. You wedge the crowbar to a spot where you can push the lock. Pushing forcefully, you hear the lock snap. On top of the lock, the crowbar itself breaks. You cast the broken pieces aside, clearly useless now. You push open the door and enter. This actually looks similar to something that was in one of Cosmic Void's other games. You're in a spacious cave with what appears to be an artificial pool at the center with gems set into this rock. Stalagmites and stalactites ring the room. You don't know what to make of it. Is it sort of a shrine? You try contacting Audrey. The signal is very poor, and you barely understand one another. You report your essential findings, the pool, the gems, and she instructs you to keep exploring. Look, gems? They are resplendent. Their luster has a soothing, almost dazzling effect on you. You latch onto one of the gems with your grubby hands. Pull and pull, but it remains in despite of your efforts. And I lost my crowbar, right? Hey, Malleus. Look, pond. Okay, what does they actually say? Oh, no, pool. Look, pool. The pool at the center of the room is clearly man-made. Or is it? Your species didn't exist that long ago. It's half filled with water. Gemstones adorn its sides. Get water. Get in pool. You think about this for a moment, then, feeling thirsty, you cup the water with both hands and drink. It's quite unremarkable. You decide not to collect any of the water. Good nod coming up shortly, by the way. Doesn't look like it can go that way. There doesn't really seem to be much here. I'm wondering if there's like an object or something that I'm not identifying that I can interact with. Put berry in pool. I still don't have any idea what to do with this thing. Put berry. Use toy with berry. Smash berry with toy. Put toy in pool. Salmon toy. Can I open the toy? Open toy. Roly-poly doll is not a Russian doll. It wasn't designed to open. However, maybe you could try something else instead. Bite toy. Stretch toy. Use toy. Pick toy. Rip toy. Can't think of anything obvious to do with that. Now we're kinda stuck here. Okay, let me go back to the ship real quick. Okay, she doesn't say anything new. Feel like I need to find some way to smash open this berry. Hey, Cass. I'm gonna be taking a break here in a minute for the ads. Put berry in lake. Put berry on dump. I don't really have much left to like do things with. I'm pretty sure this just takes me back to the same place. Yeah. Put berry in hand. Put remote in hand. Computer in hand. Okay, ad break.